दोस्तों एक बार फिर से स्वागत है आपका डिस्टेंस लर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स के इस चैनल पर जिसका नाम है बी प्रिपेयर्ड। सबसे पहले चैनल को लाइक और सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन को प्रेस करें ताकि आपको इग्नू और एनआईओएस से रिलेटेड फर्दर इम्पोर्टेंट मटेरियल भी आसानी से मिलते रहें। दोस्तों हमारे चैनल पर मिलते हैं आपको सॉल्व्ड असाइनमेंट जिन्हें आप रिटन और ओरल देख और सुन पाते हैं। वीडियो की प्लेबैक स्पीड 0.5 पर सेट करके आप एक ही बार में डिक्टेशन यानी नरेशन के साथ अपना पूरा असाइनमेंट लिख सकते हैं। ब्लू एंड ब्लैक पेन और ब्लैंक पेपर्स के साथ आप अपने वीडियो को प्ले कीजिए और असाइनमेंट शुरू कीजिए। आज का हमारा असाइनमेंट है इग्नू के प्रोग्राम बीए जनरल के कोर्स इंडियन गवर्नमेंट एंड पॉलिटिक्स का, जिसका कोड है BPSC 132। असाइनमेंट का क्वेश्चन पेपर आप लोगों के पास होगा ही, और अगर आपके पास असाइनमेंट का क्वेश्चन पेपर नहीं है तो आप इसे इग्नू की वेबसाइट से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं या फिर आप मोबाइल स्क्रीन से भी असाइनमेंट के क्वेश्चंस को देख सकते हैं। क्वेश्चन पेपर को 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया गया है, असाइनमेंट 1, असाइनमेंट 2 और असाइनमेंट 3। सभी क्वेश्चंस करने हैं। क्वेश्चन की वर्ड लिमिट और मार्क्स क्वेश्चन के साथ दिए गए हैं। तो शुरुआत करते हैं पहले सेक्शन यानी पहले असाइनमेंट से। आंसर द फॉलोइंग इन अबाउट 500 वर्ड्स ईच। ईच क्वेश्चन कैरी 20 मार्क्स। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, डिस्कस गांधीयन अप्रोच टू स्टडी इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स। आंसर, गांधीयन अप्रोच denotes using Gandhian tenets or Gandhism to explain the social reality or truth and suggest ways to build new society. These tenets are truth, non-violence, satyagrah, swaraj, sarvodaya, justification of means to achieve goals, their morality, Ram Rajya, non-violence is more than just avoidance of violence and harming others. It is to harm oneself, to harm through activities such as fasting, is to exercise moral authorities on those who poses power without disobedience, and political action cannot be organized. Democracy must be structural in as a way that every citizen can question law and institutions, to use non-violence and moral or ethical tool to achieve goals, means to follow a method, strategy which is known as satyagrah. According to Gandhism, the ultimate goal which Gandhian tenets seeks to achieve is establish Swaraj or self-control or self-realization. This will lead to formation of Ram Rajya or a society where people live in peace and harmony, govern themselves and enjoy security. In Ram Rajya, an ideal society, people self-regulate, self-govern through village panchayats, village republics. It is high civil society. Such societies have compassion and fellow feelings. In Ram Rajya, the village panchayat performs the functions which can be performed by the state. Ram Rajya Swaraj implies minimum role to the state, which is a coercive institution. When a scholar uses concept of satyagrah, non-violence, truth, etc. to analyze role of institutions such as state. In political science, the most common theme which have been studied by Gandhian approach are social movement and usage of satyagrah. In them, critiques of Indian state as a coercive institution, the notion of Swaraj, communal and social harmony and decentralization, Panchayati Raj institution or the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts, and the influence of Gandhism on development, debate and on perspective, etc. Gandhism on intellectuals such as Charan Singh Lohia and others socialist leaders, Lohia and Charan Singh attacked industrialization in favor of small-scale village industries. Although Charan Singh was influenced by Gandhi, he disagreed with Gandhi on some issues. For instance, he opposed to Gandhi notion of cooperative farming. He opinioned Gandhi's views in support of cooperative farming. However, Charan Singh was informing the tenets of Gandhism. Gandhian philosophy, which influenced Lohia, included unsuitability of European model of socialism. He criticized Nehruvian model of development. From the point of view of Nehruvian model of development, he was most influenced by Gandhian views of civil disobedience or satyagrah and economic and political decentralization. As in Gandhian perspective, the state has generally been viewed as a soulless machine which uses coercive method. Gandhian perspective seeks to explain the extent to which state is required to provide security. Indeed, he is not opposed to state. Instead, he supports minimum state. It provides security. The role of the state can be reformed by Panchayati Raj institution. State should perform minimum function. Gandhism support a kind of democracy in which people share power and participate in decision making process through डिसेंट्रेशन और पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशंस. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर यहाँ कंप्लीट हुआ. सेकंड क्वेश्चन, एक्सप्लेन द कोर एलिमेंट्स ऑफ लिबरल अप्रोच टू स्टडी इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स. एज आंसर, एज लिबरल अप्रोच to Indian politics is a variant of the non-Marxist structural function or systematic approach. Its core elements are borrowed from the latter. Following are these core elements. As mentioned earlier, liberal approach to study Indian politics is a variant of systematic as structural. When applied to the study Indian politics can also be called systematic approach. System approach emerged out of abroad movement in social science known as behavioral movement. It was introduced by David Aston and James Colleran to study political system in the developing countries in 1950s, 1960s. This framework also came to be known as modernization or development framework. Its main purpose was to study development of modern political institutions in developing societies. The nation of development, according to this perspective, was different from economist notion of developing. According to the economist, development generally means growth rate or development of infrastructure. For political scientists influenced by behavioral movement, it meant development of modern political institution. Its main focus has been to see political institutions or organizations development maintain themselves by reaching consensus within the organism. In this approach, the political system comprises of political institutions, structure and processes, and these three attributes keep interacting, conflicting and adjusting with each other, balancing and counterbalancing to themselves. In such a situation, the political system maintained it does not break down. During the initial period of independence, many political scientists have followed this approach to study Indian politics. Rajni Kothari's Politics in India is one of the most important example to study politics of India level. He advocates that the political system is resilient and it survives, and his book was mainly followed structural functional approach. Using the approach, Rajni Kothari's categorized Congress Party of the 1950s and 60s as Congress system, and the 1950s 1960s was called as the era of Congress dominance. C.B. Brahmbhari 1974 critiqued Rajni Kothari's approach to study Indian politics in a review of Kothari's book Politics in India. According to the Brahmbhari, Kothari's framework prohibits raising basic questions in Indian politics such as the class, character of the state, location and distribution of political power, and the role of imperialism in the framework. Economic aspects are also missing. Indian politics has been studied without the reference of role of trade union, big institutional houses, lobbies of the rich farmers and landless peasants. He further adds that Kothari's model of Indian democracy is similar to that of Delhi, which says society is plural and democratic government operates like a market, and this market is subject to all sort of pulls and pressure. Brahmbhari underlines that the limitation in Kothari's analysis is due to the limitation or systematic or liberal approach. This approach does not look at the class conflict as a process of social change. Rather, it focuses on how a system maintains itself or a consensus within its conflicting unit. In response of Brahmbhari critic, Kothari system suggests that his book is not based on Marxist approach to politics or American brand of functionalist approach. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 का आंसर भी यहाँ पर कंप्लीट हो गया है. अब हम हैं सेकंड सेक्शन यानी असाइनमेंट 2 पर. आंसर द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चन इन अबाउट 250 वर्ड्स. ईच क्वेश्चन कैरीज 10 मार्क्स. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. Discuss the Marxist approach to study movements. Answer. Since Marxism is sympathetic to lower classes, agricultural, laborers, working class or peasantry, it aims to end class exploitation. Marxist approach emphasis in studying material conditions of classes, their social relations and attempts by them to improve their conditions. Their attempts include collective action or movements of different classes, although Marxist perspective has been used to study movement of several sections of society. In India, it has been used most prominently to study peasantry and farmers movements, agricultural laborers and workers movements. Although generally peasants and farmers are generally used interchangeably, there is a difference between them. Peasants in a generic category, farmers is used for agriculturalists who use modern technology and are more resourceful than the peasants. The prime focus in peasant study has been to identify classes in agricultural process of class formation, social and economic relation in term of rent collection, indebtedness, nature of social oppression and economic exploitation, to study the resistance of peasants to the exploitation, the elements, the pattern of mobilization, and to study the response of the exploiting classes and the state in the studies of peasant movement during the colonial period in India. The Marxist approach identified broadly following class: peasants working in tenants or the land owned by landlords and lords, moneylenders, and official of the colonial government. It also explained the ways tenants were exploited, evasion from land for being unable to pay rent and debt, physical coercion, and caste based humiliation, and how the exploiting classes, the landlords, moneylenders, colonial authorities allied with each other. In the post independence period, the focus of Marxist approach shifted to study the politics of land reforms. In studying land reform, it attempted to analyze the impact of land reform. Question number 4. Explain the meaning of directive policy of state policy and trace their origin. Answer. In Unit 5, you have read justiciable rights, that is fundamental rights. In this unit, you will read non-judicable rights, that is directive principle of state policy, and about fundamental duties. Directive principles are the directions given by the Constitution to the state for the welfare of citizen of India. The directive principle of state policy are mentioned in Article 36 to 51, Part 4 of the Constitution. Their main purpose is to achieve social and economic development of all sections of the society, aiming to set up an egalitarian society. In Granville Austin's views, directive principle of state policy have been helpful in achieving the constitutional goals of society, social, economic, and political justice to all. As you have read in Unit 5, the fundamental rights were incorporated in the Constitution according to the suggestion of Right Subcommittee of the Constituent Assembly. Apart from giving suggestion on the fundamental right, this committee gave suggestion on directive principle of state policy. Indeed, there has been a debate in the Constituent Assembly whether the rights should be divided into two parts, justiciable and non-justiciable, or fundamental rights and directive principle of the state policy. They provide directives or instructions on the state to introduce policies about the welfare of different sections of the society. Granville state that 4 members played decisive role in framing directive principle of state policy: B.N. Rao, A.K. Iyer, B.R. Ambedkar, and K.T. Sahu. Among them, B.N. Rao was the most influential. The origin of directive principle of state policy can be traced to Karachi Resolution and socialist and nationalist ideas which were prevalent from the 1920s in India. As you have read in Unit 5, Sapru Committee suggested that rights should be divided between two parts, justicable and non-justicable. Question number 4 का आंसर complete. Question number 5. What are the fundamental rights? Explain. Answer. The preamble to Indian Constitution is about the resolution of Indians, we the people of India, for securing freedom, equality, justice, security, dignity to all citizens. Their commitments have been incorporated as fundamental rights and directive principle of the state policy. The Part 3 and the Part 4 Respectively, the fundamental rights are justiciable. It means that if fundamental rights of citizens are violated, he or she can approach the court for their protection. They are different from the directive principle of the state policy, which are non-justiciable. It means that if state does not follow the provision of the directive principle of the state policy, a citizen cannot approach court. Alarming them, the Constituent Assembly had constituted various committees to give suggestion for inclusion in the Constitution. One such committee was to give suggestions about fundamental rights, minority rights, and tribal and excluded areas. It was headed by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. This committee was divided into subcommittees. One such subcommittee was also on fundamental rights. The Fundamental Rights Subcommittee, or the Right Subcommittee as it was known, was headed by J.B. Kriplani. This committee has represent the diverse sections of society, including women such as Amrit Kaur and Hansa Mehta. An important decision which the Right Subcommittee took was to include the fundamental right as justiciable right. The suggestions of the Rights Subcommittee were incorporated as fundamental rights in Part 3 of the Constitution after they were discussed in the Constituent Assembly. सेकेंड असाइनमेंट के सभी क्वेश्चन यहाँ पर कंप्लीट हुए. अब हम हैं अपने थर्ड सेक्शन यानी थर्ड असाइनमेंट पर. आंसर द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चन इन अबाउट 100 वर्ड्स. ईच क्वेश्चन कैरीज 6 मार्क. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. डिस्कस द parliamentary devices to control the executive. Answer. The Constitution of India established a parliamentary form of government in which the executive is held responsible to the parliament for its acts. Parliament exercise control over executive through debates and discussions on the floor. It has instruments like short duration discussion during question and 0 hours, calling attention motion, adjournment motion, no confidence motion, censure motion, etc. It also supervises the activities of executive with the help of its committees like Committee on Government Assurance, Committee on Subordinate Legislation, Committee on Petition, etc. The ministers are collectively responsible to the parliament in general and the Lok Sabha in particular. Question number 6 का आंसर complete. Question number 7. Explain the characteristics of class in the post-independence period. The post-independence period, the agrarian class can be described as follow: landlords and tenants, kulhas, rich peasants, middle peasants and agricultural laborers, marginal and small farmers, and footloose labor. Landlords and tenants generally had existed before the implementation land reform in different states in India. However, they have not completely disappeared in every state. In several parts of the country, new class emerged. Abolition of zamindari following implementation of land reform. These classes come to be known as rich farmers, kulaks or self-cultivating middle farmers. In the areas which have witnessed green revolution, these classes got to involved in cash crops. These areas also seen the emergence of agricultural laborers who work on the land of the land owning classes. Beside these are classes who own small land holdings. Question number 8. Discuss the characteristic of tribes. Answer. Tribes are generally identified by certain features. It is important to note that as tribal societies are undergoing transformation, the characteristics of tribes are getting affected by the transformation. However, we can identify certain features which are associated with tribes. During the post-independence period, the tribal committees have witnessed changes. However, these changes have not impacted tribes. All regions equally. There exist inequalities in their economic and educational standards. Within the same tribes and some regions, these changes have mainly occurred during the policies of the state and central government made according to the special provisions of the Constitution. The 6th schedule and 5th schedule of the Constitution protect the customs and economic interest and political right of tribes in the hills and plain areas. Question number 9. Explain the relationship between gender and development. Answer. Gender-based inequality is largely rooted in social and economic disparities, lack of separation, representation of women and transgenders in decision-making institution. It can be argued that if women become economically interdependent, get educated and get political representation, their equality can be achieved. Although economic independence help in reduction of gender-based discrimination, it is not a sufficient condition. Such condition can be supplemented by change in patriarchal values. It means that man, woman and transgenders are entitled for equal treatment as human beings. Gender-based discrimination is thus embedded in the level of human development. लास्ट क्वेश्चन पर हैं हम अब. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. डिस्कस द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज इन इंडिया. आंसर. द इंडियन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज आर classified in two ways. One by the academics, another by the Election Commission of India. The former classifies parties based on factors such as their regional support, base policies, ideologies. The Election Commission of India classifies them according to percentage of valid votes polled by them in Vidhan Sabha or Lok Sabha elections. In a specific number of state, it classifies political parties into three categories: national, state and registered parties. Its definition of state parties in the most elaborate. In this definition, a party to be called a state party must have been engaged in political activities for at least 5 years and must have won either 4% of the seats in the general election और 3% in a state election. दोस्तों यहाँ पर असाइनमेंट कंप्लीट हुआ. उम्मीद है असाइनमेंट आपके लिए हेल्पफुल प्रूव होगा. मिलते हैं जल्द ही एक नई हेल्पफुल वीडियो के साथ.